Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we look at another indie game. This time we're looking at Skelethrone, the Chronicles of Ericona. This game comes from 70 Strike and is their breakout title, and is published by the guys at Valkyrie Initiative. They've also worked on the excellent medieval RPG Heads Will Roll and the upcoming Carribean Legend, a game I hope to review in the future. Skelethrone come on my radar after the developer sent me an email containing the words Dark Souls, and as soon as I heard that, I was on board. Let me tell you, my time in this Souls-like has been well spent, and I've really enjoyed this little underground gem. I'm going to show you my progress in the game so far, and why you, if you're a Souls fan, should absolutely have this game on your radar. Let's check out Skelethrone, the Chronicles of Ericona. Due to my crippling addiction to Dark Souls games, I've spent a fair bit of time in the campaign. As a result, I'm currently level 9. Now I'm mainly using a strength-based build, using a two-handed weapon and relying on its range and damage to get me through most battles. As a result, I can't use a shield and my defense is rather low, so I have to be careful about taking damage. But when you have a sword big enough that would make most anime characters blush, you really don't have to worry too much about taking hits. Now I managed to make it through the first and the second part of the game. So today we're going to try and battle our way through to the swamp, and that's where things get real. Now the story of the game goes that you're a knight, you died in a battle, or more of a massacre. You don't know how you got there, you don't know what killed you, and you don't know what brought you back. We found a group of humans, a settlement, and they've agreed to help us restore our memory in exchange for destroying the monsters that are rampaging across the land. So we're going to have to rely on our knightly abilities and our arsenal of weapons. Now this game has a little bit of roughness around the edges, but I have to mention it was made by one person, and that to me is crazy. This is a passion project that has more to it than some AAA games I've played. And this is kind of why I got into indie games in the first place. The art style is really endearing after a while. The combat is really good, the controls are tight. I would have liked to play this on the PlayStation, but unfortunately the developer only had Steam copies available at the time. I'm currently using my PlayStation controller and it's going pretty well. Now the game has a really interesting way in which skills are managed. They're tied to the weapon you're currently using, and what this does is encourage you to use different builds, different weapons. Now of course there is a limit on how many times you can use a skill, so I'm keeping this up my sleeve for the moment. We're going to need it against the boss. Most of these guys are small fry anyway. They go down pretty easy. Okay, down here we have a infinity stone looking energy gem, which will unlock a ability for us. And basically I've been focusing on anything that increases my vitality and my strength. Now while the game has a huge array of weapons, both ranged weapons and melee, it doesn't really have a lot in the way of spells. Getting careless. As you can see, it doesn't take many hits to take you out. Thankfully, there is a bonfire. We can hit that up in a sec. Down here. Because if we're going to fight the boss, we're going to need a full complement of healing potions and full health. Now, unfortunately, I can't level up yet. I'm going to need a lot more essence. But we can go beat that out of the boss. Now, this is my second run in the game. I have been experimenting with all the different weapons, and while the strength build seems to be my go-to, I do encourage you to use the different weapons in the game. Unfortunately, there isn't a way that I've found at the moment that you can reset your skills, but it's not an especially big game. So I've got a second save where I'm using a dexterity build. Now this boss is pretty tough. And he likes to cheat by spewing poison everywhere. Like so. We're going to run out of juice, I hope. You hit him pretty hard. We've got some healing, it's okay. One or two more hits and you are dead. Spit your poison, son. I'm coming for you. Your sword's going where you don't want it. Oh, damn. I rolled the wrong way. And now for the coup de grace. Get wrecked, son. A wonderful energy has filled my body. I feel an incredible lightness. And with that, the first boss, or the second boss, is dead. Elgor. I thought I was done for. Thank you kindly. I will be happy to serve you, noble sir. You can find me in the hunter's house in our village, should you need anything. Farewell. Thank you. And so with Elgor safe, we will continue onward with our brand new double jump ability to the village. We have to be careful though, I don't have much in the way of health pots. We're actually completely out. That's okay. Oh, that was a nice swing. We haven't got far to go. As long as we're careful, we'll be fine. Alley-oop. And with that, we've made it out of the forest, vanquishing the second boss of the game, gaining a new ability, the double jump, and oh wow, we're having a pretty good run at the moment. We've got an essence shard. Our knowledge has increased. We can use it once we hit the human village, which is up ahead. Brand new weapon for us. I believe that's a Lord of the Rings reference, that sword sting. We've made it to the human village. The village leader, the sorceress, has enlisted our help. As you can see, the plants around the village were once under their control. They're starting to grow out of control at the moment, and they've enlisted us to help them. Land mask. And a little turn. Yeah. I noticed you came out of that old dilapidated well. I wonder what's underneath it. Of course, I could investigate it myself to satisfy my curiosity. Nonetheless, I'm too tired and lazy to leave this place. I think I'll rest some more. By turning. And so we've made it to the next campfire. I'm going to use the stones to increase my abilities. Now, I've mainly been using two-handed weapons, so we're probably going to head in that direction. You can see here, two-handed weapons are this way. So I'm going to invest in some stamina. We may go this way. Yeah, stamina. We have a number of different choices. Let's invest a point here. No? Now we should be able to. There we go. So we've got a point of stamina and ether. So this means we'll be able to swing. I can't swing 3 times yet. But now our character is upgraded. And we'll head into the level up area. And I'm going to up my vitality. Because as you can see, we take a fair bit of damage at the moment. Not a huge upgrade, but every little bit helps. Eventually we'll be able to get some additional healing potions as well. Now that we're stocked up, it's time to head on to the swamp, and this is where things get even more dangerous. Now that we've saved Elgor's life, it might be worth talking to the village elder and seeing if he'll give us a reward. On the battlefield, amidst a mountain of corpses, the very same stinking pit, I saw a strange green glow. I wonder what it could be. What he's referring to was me. I emerged from the pit in a green glow. I don't know what brought me back, and that's part of our quest, to find out what it was. Here we can talk to an orc called Jabberus. Don't be shy, I've been waiting for you. My fledglings have informed me a strange visitor has come to our land. I also know no one can understand your speech, and I may be able to help you. I have not introduced myself. I am Jabras. Many call me the Master of Luxury, and in my house you can find many things mere mortals cannot dream of. It's not gold or precious jewelry, it's wisdom and knowledge of hundreds of generations. But let's get to the point. I can see you're not weak in spirit, will and strength. So it's in my interest to make a deal with you. You will bring me a certain item, and in return I'll be able to help you. Is that a decent offer? I can see you're interested. I want you to bring me the Tome of Mourners. That sounds very intriguing. Don't ask me why I need it. The book can only be found in one place, Ebony Tower. Past the blooming swamp. You can't miss this marvellous monument. I'm counting on you. Now, we're actually going to be headed to the swamp, so we might as well help our new friend out, as knowledge is always something that's going to help us. Now, up here we have a suspicious looking chest. And of course, we're not going to be falling for that. and I will take the energy crystal. You've received the essence shard. So we have another point we can invest. Eventually I'm going to get the two-handed mastery so we can really unlock our potential with two-handed weapons. How about that, skeleton? So some of the villagers just, they have some interesting stories, and others just kind of look crazy. But in a world with monstrosities and eldritch abominations, it's not uncommon to see crazy people. Here we have the village elder, who helped in the opening of the game. My gratitude is limitless. You saved my son. He's all I have left. So all is not lost for me in the world. Thank you, sire. Please take this flute. In times of need, it will bring you back to safety, but it must be used as wisely, as it takes time to regain its magical properties. What's the next step? I am unable to understand what you want to tell me, but I can see you need to be on your way. I will talk to Nagara. She will open a passage on the other side of the village. Follow to the hunter's cabin. It's located behind the cemetery. So another campfire. But where we're headed is a swamp. Here's our new friend. I've been expecting you, my lord. My gratitude to you is infinite. I dread to think of if it weren't for you, I would be a piece of the strange collection hanging from the trees. Now, you may not notice, but those things hanging from the trees, in a very Junji Ito-esque fashion, are human corpses. I'd like to thank you. Please accept this. I inherited this shard of essence from my mother, who sadly died at the time I was born. From the shard, my father made me a talisman to keep me safe and warn him when I was in trouble. So now, what he's given me is a very, very useful upgrade, allowing me to use an additional potion. Jabberus promised to teach you to speak. Is that even possible? I'll be careful about making deals if I were you. The guy's not that simple, but who knows, maybe it'll work out. There's always a choice. It boils down to what your ultimate goal is. No one remembers when Jabberus showed up. At one point he settled in an old abandoned library. Few people cared, times were tough, and he was starting to help the locals. There's something about him that makes me suspicious. I see you've already lit the chapel fire. Good, you can always come back using the flute Diego gave you. There's no need to delay now, I can open the door. Don't thank me, I'll see you around. Now go. Onward to the swamp. Well, if you think the last few sections were hard, I got news for you. The swamp turns the dial up even further. Thankfully, with our upgrades and our brand new weapon, we'll be able to make a bit more progress into the swamp and maybe have a chance against the boss. Now, there are a number of hazards we need to look out for here. Those are poison bubbles for a start. The mermen, which aren't too hard once you work out how to get past their acid spit. The jumping attack for this weapon is really, really good. As you can see, we're doing better before I decided to step in a pile of acid. Most of the enemies here are pretty easy to take down. But the biggest problem, of course, is the scarcity of health. With the campfires being very hard to find and being very few and far between, so we're going to try and find a shortcut back to this campfire, because I really want to fight on through to the boss. Now, the only good thing about this area is that even though it's really difficult, the enemies here are worth a ton of essence and we can level up our character right quick. There's also some pretty powerful weapons here. Okay, that is a shortcut. If we're lucky, we can unlock that. So here's where we get the platforming section of the game, and I'm not going to lie, this is probably the weakest part. A lot of the platforming sections are kind of not placed very well, and you end up with enemies standing on these very narrow platforms, and then you're kind of stuck. You have to take damage because they're in a spot where you can't move, and occasionally here you get this issue as well with enemies camping ladders. I could drop down there, but I'm just going to take a ton of damage and probably die. So I'm going to try and... No. This guy doesn't want to... I think no matter what I'm going to do, I'm going to lose here. Come on, move. Okay. What I will do is I'm just going to try and take the least amount of damage. But yeah, enemies camp ladders. They will stand on these narrow platforms. That was just pure luck then. Pure luck. But I'll take it. And some of these jumps are like super tight. Like no room for error. Whew. Let's not do that again, shall we? Yeah, this is one of the worst sections. I'm probably going to die here because it's just a non-stop onslaught of falling debris and really, really nastily placed platforms that are... You almost have to be pixel perfect to pull off these jumps. Take that. Okay, we've got a shortcut. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape, so we won't head back to the campfire just yet. Okay, this is a lockdown. Oh, come on. Now I have to go back. At least we've cleared the enemies out. Whew. Well, now it should be a straight shot to the boss. Now we have the fun and excitement of making it all the way to the bottom of the pit we just crawled out of. Fun times. Just have to remember that there is a... Yep, there we go. And on the right hand side, another set of weeds we can grab onto. And of course, swing and a miss. It was painful, but we made it. The next part's even worse because we've got a series of narrow platforms with enemies that have all the advantages of ranged attacks and a pretty high health bar. That's okay. We will continue on. Now we have to make it past these bad boys. Which aren't too bad once you work out that pattern, but you'll notice I'm low on potions, so can't afford to make many mistakes here. There is a campfire coming up. And I'm going to need it. Nearly dead. These guys take a lot of damage. I mean, they are mini bosses after all. We've got one more platforming section after this. One down. Now we've got to fight between two pools of acid. Ooh. Now these platforms have no room for error, of course. Oh, and that is a welcome sight. The campfire. Now we have to fight the gauntlet through to the boss. The last section before the boss is one long gauntlet full of spikes, mermen, acid, and every other possible thing you could think of in our way. Our goal is to make it through here and also to avoid getting hurt too much, because we can't make it through in good shape. We got zero chance of taking the boss out. Our timing has to be perfect. Thankfully, all that practice has really come in handy. Onward to the boss. Mushroom Slaver, what have we got here? The undead dare to break into my domain? What do you want? Answer me. Of course we can't talk because we're dead. I'm waiting for an answer, you despicable undead. Well, guards, seize him. You can try. Now here we just have to survive. Wipe out all the guards. Fodder, and you call yourselves the protectors of the mycelium? I call them worm food now. Must do everything myself. Now this guy is no joke. We're down to our last healing. Time to break out the big guns. I don't know if we can beat this guy. Look at his health. Smoked. I put up one hell of a fight though. One more try. At least now it's a mano-y-mano, just the two of us. For now. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Look at his health. He's still 2/3 health. I'll be beating the hell out of him. Running out of healing. He's down to half health though. Oh, how am I supposed to dodge that? Last healing. Oh. Damn. Killed again. One more try. I mean, look at his health. Doing even worse than last time. One more try. I'm not admitting defeat. I mean, look at his health. It's crazy. Oh, couldn't have done much there. He's down to half health. I'm giving him a right weapon. I can use that special skill to dodge his attacks. Oh, this is bad. Look at my health. Been pretty bad though. Get some of this in you. Oh, look at his health. It's gonna be close. Oh no, I can't dodge. Oh. So close. One more try. Unfortunately, this is gonna have to be the last one. Nice try, son. Oh, how's I supposed to dodge both? Half health though. Damn. Well, unfortunately, he has beaten me. I'm going to have to do a lot more practice at the game before I can defeat this boss. Trust me, I spent a lot of time before this video trying to beat him. I've tried a few different builds. I've tried many different weapons. Unfortunately, got the better of me today, but with a bit of practice, I'll be able to beat him. Now, I'm going to do a follow-up video to this game because, I mean, I love it so much. If you're a fan of Dark Souls games, if this video hasn't been enough to make you buy it, I don't know what will. It's a passion project, by a single developer, and this game has been more fun than some of the AAA games I played this year. If you're going to play one budget Souls-like this year, then this may be the one you want to go to. Support the smaller developers. Big thank you to the guys over at the publisher as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing the sequel to this, because I believe there is another game in the works from what I've heard, and I'll certainly be checking that out. But for now, let me know what you thought in the comments. Leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we check out another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.